Hey, y'all, buckle up because you're about to enjoy a segment from a Snaps live show, and I'm guessing it's going to be a pretty good time. Enjoy. Okay, speaking of LSU, Bruce Feldman has an article out on Brian Kelly right now that is making the rounds on The Athletic, basically just questioning whether or not he is a fit at LSU and what the championship potential is therein. Aaron, I would ask you, and I would say, okay, here's why I wanted to bring this up. Hold on, pull it up real quick. Sorry, y'all.
That would be. I know the chat's asking what if A&M wins the SEC championship game. Like that is when all hell would break loose, because then you'd get in a discussion of Tennessee or Indiana.
Maybe I'm hypothetical out today, but
Yes.
maybe we can do that later in the week.
Let's do that. Let's do that. We'll do that if A&M wins. Okay.
No, we can do it. We'll do like a little timeline thing, and then we'll prune it if we have to. All right. So this is the article. Brian Kelly left Notre Dame for LSU to win a title. Why is he further away than ever? And I want your reaction to this quote, Aaron. So they talked to a lot of people off the record, a lot of assistants, stuff like that, so that they could get opinions. But one guy that was very much on the record was Charles Turner, former center for LSU for the last 2 years under Brian Kelly. And here's what he had to say. He said, for Coach Kelly, I think this is a different dynamic for him. When I was playing for Kelly for the last 2 years, I didn't talk to him. And remember, Turner, someone who would have come from the O era at the beginning of his career. When I was playing for Kelly the last 2 years, I didn't talk to him. I started every game for him. Just, hey, how are you doing? And that was really it. We never talked X's and O's. I never sat in his office and got personal with him. He never really got to know me. And Turner said he hopes Kelly can get it turned around, but he added, quote, he might not be the best fit for LSU. Quote, he's definitely a good coach, but as far as championships and all that other stuff, you got to come a different way with your players, Turner said. You have to let your players know that you really got them. What do you think as a former player when you hear a player say that?
I mean, I just think about to my coaches. My coaches didn't have intimate relationships with everyone on the football team. I mean, there's a lot of guys to kind of get to know. So if this is just, hey, this is just my personal experience, that's one thing. If it was, hey, this is the feeling of everyone on the football team, that's another thing. So to me, it's not enough. I'll say that. Like, I don't want to cut back. It's not enough. If this is Kelly putting up a wall and I'm just your coach and I'm going to draw the boundary there, and there isn't any sort of personal relationship, there isn't any come hang out in the office and let's talk life, let's talk ball, let's talk about what's going on. That's one thing.
Did you ever have a coach like that though?
I mean, but what's it like? I'm different because I'm a quarterback. So I did have a good relationship with Mark Richt. Okay. I think quarterbacks are a little bit different because because the coach has to know the quarterback has to be on the same page as me. So I have to build that relationship that way. He can be the voice for me inside the locker room. But to say that like Coach Rick, who was a player's coach, was hanging out with the guys 24/7 and bring guys in for a cup of coffee, like, I don't know, like that to me, that doesn't happen.
No.
So I think this is a little bit like, whatever.
I'm all surprised that you are talking about a 2-year starting center.
Still center.
I would love to talk shit to Aaron right now, guys, but I don't know. This is kind of my experience as well. I always thought.
Did you have a relationship with the wild man?
Miles?
Yeah.
No, it was like a boss, like a boss relationship. Not like, but no, nothing like. Maybe at times, I would say more personal than what Charles Turner seems to be speaking to. But I do always feel there's that outside misconception that, players love their head coach and you want to like win games for him. And maybe that's the case for some. I've never had that experience.
It's about your position coach and it's about your coordinator.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Position coach. I had that real relationship. Yes. Absolutely. Position coach assistants. Like, yes, absolutely. But I mean, to Aaron's point, like, how could a head coach maintain those relationships? And he's got to have it with the quarterback because obviously he does, right? And his other leaders on the team. But
And there's 2 points, I'm sure, as well. I mean, this goes for anyone that runs a company. There's certain people that you know and trust are going to do the right thing, that you don't need a baby, that you don't need to bring in for talks, that like, hey, he's got it. I ain't got to worry about him. But I do got to worry about this person, this person, this person, this person, this person, this person.
True.
Let me build a relationship with them to make sure I'm kind of guiding them down the right path.
True.
So
the article goes on to say a second former assistant echoed Turner. If you don't really know the players, if you don't know how to come at them, don't know how to talk to them, don't know how to build relationships with them, if you're not involved with them, it's not going to work. Again, I don't think this is necessarily true. I think you could also have, and guys, I brought this up not to actually talk about Brian Kelly because as the article gets into, he's not going anywhere and he shouldn't. I don't think it's a bad thing for LSU to have their hands tied because I think they got a good staff now. We'll see, right? Like this time of chaos, it's not bad to be locked in and like not even have the luxury of choice. I bring this more up because I wanted Aaron's perspective because I can only speak to like what it was like in a college locker room for me and how accurate do we think this is. Now, it could also be different where maybe today's players expect more of a relationship. I don't know.
I would think it's the other way around. I feel like nowadays it's harder to build a relationship because there is so much more movement.
Yeah, it's like a little more professional.
It's way more professional.
Yeah.
Way more professional.
Yeah.
And then you have the dynamic of not a lot, but there are
at the same time, you kind of have to coddle kids so they don't want to go though, too.
You can't
but maybe not
120 guys.
Yeah, you can't. Yeah.
Or 85, whatever the scholarship is, not the entire roster, but and this is professional, man. That's why you have to build out a staff, a GM and a staff that is constantly looking and evaluating talent to replace. Like to me, like you have to look at your roster as like almost 50% of these guys are going to be gone next year. We better find a way to replace them, whether it's through the draft or through the portal. It's the times we live in. And that's the NFL. I mean, that's the NFL. I mean, it's constant change in the NFL. You can't build any relationships in that league.
You know what I think about all the time? Have you seen basketball?
Mm-mm.
Oh. Well.
I didn't do that.
Yeah, never mind. In the beginning of basketball, they're kind of making fun of how like the player's doing like an opening press conference and he's like, I can't wait to be playing in the city of Miami. And they're like, it's Minneapolis or something. He's like, whatever. And it's just making fun of like modern sports, how like players go everywhere and franchises relocate. And I never would have fathomed that we would actually get to the basketball future more so in college football than we did the NFL. But that's kind of where you're at nowadays. So I guess if you read this article, there's a lot of good in it. There's people in support, there's people against, but that's my perspective on it. Like, I think it's interesting to see Turner say that, and that's how Turner felt. But my experience was never that I had like a chummy relationship with the head coach. It was very much a boss employee relationship with the head coach. You should watch basketball. If we hit 30K subs, we'll watch baseball on stream. All right. Next up on the show today. So if Brian Kelly does get fired, Aaron,
he's not getting fired.
Stephen A. Smith knows just what to do. You ready for this?
Let's go.
Sunday afternoon or Monday Night Football in the National Football League or Thursday Night Football. To me, that's the platform he belongs on. No disrespect to the wonderful citizens in Boulder, Colorado, but me looking at prime time in Boulder, I just think that there's a big scheme that's meant for him. That's the thing. RC, he wanted the Florida State job badly when they gave it to Norvell before he ultimately ended up going to Jackson State and what have you. I thought that if Nick Saban ever stepped away, it should be him, but I knew Alabama wouldn't do that. But I thought about Florida. I thought about Texas A&M.
Okay,
SEC,
hold on.
And now I'm thinking about LSU. That's what I'm thinking about when I'm thinking about prime. There's a prime at LSU with his ability to recruit. Oh my Lord, have mercy. I mean, that's something to think about. If not at the NFL, just not Colorado.
Hey, Aaron, what do you think, dude? Prime to LSU, dude. Are you in? What? Are you in, dude?
No, I'm not in. I like BK. LSU's number 6 in recruiting right now in the country. They have 2 5-stars committed. Like, let's slow down. Like, he's acting like Brian Kelly can't recruit. They're recruiting great. They're top 6, number 6 in 24/7 Sports.
Yeah, but the
2
only
5-stars and 19 4-stars.
The only way you could make Brian Kelly whiter would be for him to win the Duke's Mayo Bowl. I mean, we need a little swag, dude. I'm feeling a little bit of that. I believe in Kelly as well long term.
So the school and the economy that is struggling. Let's just fire a coach and pay him $60 million. That's your solution. That makes a lot of sense.
In this case, we would get Coach Prime to pay for it. No. No, not really. But can you imagine Coach Prime on the LSU sidelines on a Saturday night in Death Valley?
Yeah, during his bye week when he's not coaching the New Orleans Saints. I can see it.
Do you want to see how fucking sick the culture would be? It would be unbelievable.
Let's just think about this. Once again, if you're LSU, Brian Kelly took over a program 3 years ago.
Okay. We don't need to play this game again. We know.
35 players on the roster.
Not going anywhere.
35 players on the roster. You have a really good DC that give him an offseason to build his roster. LSU will be fine.
Oh, well, I'd say that was informative and fun. If you agree, please hit the like button, sub, and we'll see you next time for some more snaps.